this whole month in my membership community, we've kind of been diving into mindfulness in the sense of really getting underneath the surface of what that means and some practices to uncover it really and experience it. And it would be a little bit remiss if we had a whole series on mindfulness and we didn't come near the breath, because the breath is a really powerful way of accessing mindfulness, actually, because the breath, just like the body, actually can only ever be right here in this moment. And so it's this beautiful entry into being present and all of the benefits that come with that, around being able to get underneath the sort of the storyline and the thinking in our minds and actually be with what's really happening. And the other thing that the breath is really useful for is changing our physiology, so changing the way our body is experiencing itself and the world, because often we're hardwired to be in a stress response and to be looking for danger. And the breath is part of the same part of our brain that does that primitive stuff of fight, flight, freeze. But it's the only part of that part of our brain, that the survival part of our brain, that we can control. So things like our heart rate, we can't change. Things like our temperature control, they're not really something we can consciously manage. Whereas our breath is something we can consciously manage. So our practices this week are all around the different ways that we can use the breath, actually. And for today's practice, we're going to be just doing something that balances us, because there's essentially three ways that you can use the breath as a tool to manage your physiology. And the first of those is and you think of it like different types of drinks. So the first is an energizing kind of breath, which is where we like a shot of coffee to get your system going, get you started. The second type is what we're going to do today, which is about balancing. So it's about bringing you into some sort of coherence in your body. So if you're a bit sluggish, it brings you up. If you're a bit wired, it brings you down. So it's a really useful technique. I use this a lot actually in my days to keep me just regulated. And the third way is like a shot of, so that's like a water practice where we just have a glass of water to get balanced. And the third type of practice is like a whiskey practice. So that's like when we're a shot of whiskey, if that's your thing, not mine actually, but to help you really downregulate and get into really deep relaxation, which is really helpful in lots of ways, but not necessarily first thing in the morning when you've got to get started and get your day moving. So we're going to do some balancing breath, where we are just bringing our inner breath and our out breath into balance. As simple as that. It sounds almost too simple, almost like, how can this really be this magic formula? But actually, it's amazing the difference it makes to your system. And the more attuned you get to what's going on with your breath, the more you start to realize how often we're not in that balanced place and we're not balancing our breath. So we're just going to literally do something called coherent breathing, which is the 5-5 breathing. So we're going to breathe in for 5 and breathe out for 5. And we're going to amplify the impact of that by breathing through our nose. And if you can, kind of make a sort of whisper sound at the back of your throat. And the way we do that is, if you imagine actually, you can do it through your mouth first. It's a bit like the reverse, like when you're like, you kind of trying to puff onto a mirror. We're kind of doing that, but we're doing it through our nose. So it makes a kind of whisper sound. So if you can hear it actually. And if you've ever done any yoga, you might hear them, people in the yoga class doing that sort of breath. And the reason it's really useful is it kind of stimulates the vagus nerve and that parasympathetic, that relaxation side of our nervous system. Now, it's not to say you're going to necessarily feel instantly relaxed, but you are going to shift your state. So we're just going to use that whisper sound to amplify the impact. So if you've not meditated with me before, there really isn't much technical stuff to know. This is about making it work no matter what condition you show up in. So whatever you're experiencing right now and whatever you experience in the practice is exactly okay. So if you find you've got lots of thoughts going on in your practice, the only thing you need to do is just notice that and come back to whatever the practice we're doing. That's it. No need to empty your mind. No need to make it go away. We're just going to let whatever we experience be there. And in terms of your posture, actually sitting up in a chair is really useful. I really like that. If you like sitting on the floor, you can do that. If you like lying down, you can do that, although you're more likely to fall into a sort of sleepier state if you do that. And we kind of want to stay active and alert with it. And that's it. So gently closing down your eyes if you're ready to experience a little bit more of what's going on for you now. So we're just going to notice, what have we brought into this beginning of the working week, or if you've got children, the beginnings of the last week of school holidays potentially. Just noticing, so often we're looking outwards, rushing to get somewhere. And for now, can you give yourself permission to be right here? I'm exactly where I planned to be. There's nowhere else to go. There's nothing else to do. This is it. This moment right here is all that's real. And just maybe noticing already, if you're aware of your feet on the floor, your body in the chair, your hands in your lap. Maybe there's already a softening beginning just from that process of turning inwards and disconnecting from the outside world. Maybe your mind's doing the opposite and is jumping into this space, wanting to already take you off into the things that you're going to be facing in your day and your week. And if that's what's happening for you, just know that you can come back, and we'll be using our breath to keep you right here. So we're going to breathe in and out for a count of 5 on the inhale and a count of 5 on the exhale. And we're going to do 10 rounds of that breath, and I'll be guiding you through it. And if at any point you need to pause, you can just breathe normally, whatever you need, and just jump back in when you're ready. So with your body still and relaxed in the chair, we'll just gently inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then letting go of that conscious controlling of the breath and just letting the breath find its natural rhythm. Just noticing the inhale and the exhale. And you can gently note in your mind, rising as you breathe in and falling as you breathe out. Rising, falling. Rising, falling. Your body's breathing for you. We always have this dance between controlling things and letting them flow. And nowhere do we experience that more than with the breath. Rising, falling. Feeling your body come alive with the breath. Rising, falling. And as you prepare for the day ahead, imagining that with each in-breath, you're bringing in an energy of kindness to yourself. And as you breathe out, sending out kindness to the people you're going to come across today. Noticing if it feels easier to send kindness out than it does to bring it in. Feeling that gentle compassion for yourself as you keep your attention with your breath. Rising, falling, kindness in, kindness out. Maybe imagining a golden glow to that kindness as it enters your body. And then sending that outwards, allowing your light to shine as you meet the people through your day. Rising, falling. And as we practice together, it's feeling that connection between us in this moment. Whatever you're experiencing, you're not alone. And we'll take a couple of big deep breaths now, but gently, so not forcing the breath into the body, but just almost imagining that your chest is able to open, your shoulders go back as you breathe in, all the way down to the belly, and then sighing out through the mouth. Breathing in, opening up, and sighing out through the mouth slowly. And final big breath in, breathing in. And then sighing out through the mouth. And letting your chin fall forwards all the way down so that your chin goes down to your chest. Letting the head become really super heavy. Imagining that the head is so heavy and you just can allow it to drop forwards, the chin dropping forwards to the chest, and noticing the vertebrae at the back of the neck opening and expanding as you breathe into the back of the neck and breathe out and let the head get heavier. Allowing yourself to feel the weight of the head. And then letting the head become light as a balloon, raising the chin really slowly back up above your shoulders. Noticing that maybe you can even feel a little bit taller as your head is so light and filled with air. The shoulders allowing to drop and soften. Feeling your chest open, ready to breathe in and out of your day. And gently blinking open your eyes, keeping your gaze soft for a moment, just as you absorb whatever you've experienced in your practice. And as I said at the beginning, it doesn't matter whether you felt a deep Zen-like calm or it was a noisy whirl in your mind. Your mind is still doing what it needs to do, and it's shifting your physiology and allowing you to have more access to a little bit more expansiveness through your day. Have a great day, and it's great to see you.